Hello. Welcome to Movi Cap channel. Earth's hardest working ants band together to face Lucas, who is constantly attacking him. Lucas is a fighter and he is condemned to live with ants. Do you think fighter Lucas will survive among the ants? The film begins with ants resting in their colony. There, an ant named Zach is looking for the stone he needs for his discovery. After days of searching, Zach finally finds the fire crystals. The next morning, the ant workers return to work. The nest of ants is located on the lawn of the backyard where a boy named Lucas lives. Lucas lives with his parents, sister and elderly grandmother. The boy has no friends, but there are those who constantly tease him, one of whom is a bully named Steve. He always mocked Lucas and assaulted him. After they leave, Lucas grabs a water pistol and directs his inner hatred towards the anthill. Whenever he gets angry, he takes his pain out of an anthill. Zach tries to stop him, but Lucas makes them destroy the nest. An ant named Mage begs Lucas not to do this. Lucas continues to hunt ants across the meadow. Zach saves his girlfriend Maggie when he sees her in danger, but it doesn't go far. Lucas, ready to crush Zach and Maggie, was called to dinner by his mother. The ants escaped this time. Lucas's parents are always away, so he doesn't get along very well with his mother. Lucas was raised by his grandmother. This time, Lucas's parents are going on a business trip. Lucas was left with his sister and elderly grandmother, who were indifferent to him. Lucas always competes with his sister. This time it was Lucas's turn to take his grandmother's dentures. Her grandmother believes in demons and ghosts and uses a ventilator to ward them off. Meanwhile, Zach, the ant, is trying to create a spark by hitting the fire crystals he found together. Apparently, he couldn't do it. After a while, a prophet ant comes and warns of the next danger. Zach the bully is preparing a potion that shrinks Lucas. The ant explains to the soothsayer that there is little time left before the infusion is ready. The next morning, Lucas is watering the lawn when he sees Steve the bully. Steve throws a detonator at him and leaves. Lucas falls back in fear and sees the anthill again. Meanwhile, Zach the ant continues his work in his nest. He noticed that the crystal was missing and prepared an elixir to fix it. At this time, water covers the anthill. A pest exterminator offers his services as Lucas sprays water on their nest. After Lucas consults with his parents, when the answer is false, Hadam mocks him as his mother's man. Lucas could not stand these words and signed the contract with him. In the anthill, Zach and Mage emerge from the water. The glowing beetle saved the elixir. Zach looks around and realizes that the ants will die if they leave and decides to try the elixir. At night, he breaks into Lucas's house with several accomplices and enters his bedroom. Zach takes advantage of the fact that the boy is sleeping and injects an elixir into his ear. After a while Lucas wakes up startled. Now its size has become as small as an ant. He looks around and falls on the chips and sees Zach. At this time, Lucas's grandmother notices that someone is walking in the house and looks around with binoculars. When she looks, the shrunk Lucas is being taken away by ants. Seeing this, he faints. The ants take the child to their nest and everyone welcomes him. Ants would not do anything worse than adults, so they leave it to the judgment of the mother ant. Mother ant offers two different ways to punish Lucas. The first is death, the second says that he will suffer like an ant, and Lucas is sentenced to live like an ant after a negotiation. The next morning, Mage wakes Lucas up and tells him that hard work awaits him. Lucas doesn't know the difference between a man and a woman. The mage shows him the symbol that will be behind the female ant. Mage was a very kind-hearted ant, who begs Lucas to go to the training ground. They go outside to the baby ants. There, Lucas joined the young ants' training and became a member of the team. The coach ant is introducing them to the rules. During training, Lucas prefers to work alone without listening to the team. When Lucas is close to the finish line, the ants let go of his hand and rush forward. Now they have gone ahead. On the last hill, Lucas falls behind and causes his team to lose. When Mage and Lucas talk after the training, Lucas says that he is unlucky. Suddenly, Mage notices an attack of bees. The bees attack the ants and chaos ensues. Zach tries to lift Mage but can't. Lucas is surrounded by bees and sees a detonator thrown by violent Steve. Lucas tries to burn it with a magnifying glass and is trapped by a bee. When he goes further, he pulls a detonator and scares away the bees. Lucas is now a hero because he saved the ants' lives by forcing the wasps to leave. Zach is still mad at Lucas. In the evening, ants are eating in their nest. Lucas tastes their food and likes it and asks for more. However, he is horrified to see that it is beetle droppings. The mage gives him a salve, noticing his discolored face, and Lucas stutters. The ants show Lucas the pictures of their ancestors, which they say are their gods. The next scene depicts the ant exterminator. The boy recognized him because he was Lucas's contracted servant. Lucas rushes home and offers the ants tasty pebbles in return. The ants agree and take him home. Realizing that it will be difficult to get beyond the carpet when Lucas goes home, he advises the ants to use the flower as a parachute. He said he saw it in computer games. This is how they fly, with the help of flowers. While the ants are transporting the colored stones, Lucas tries to call the pest control agency because he wants to cancel the advertisement. He contacts a pizza delivery service by dialing the wrong numbers. Lucas demands that they cancel the contract and is refused. At this moment, his sister enters the room. He sees ants on the table and tries to destroy them, but his grandmother comes out and stops him. Lucas's grandmother begs them to bring him back. When the ants return home, they describe the events with different emotions. Zach prevents Lucas from entering the anthill and leaves him outside. After a while, Mage finds out that Lucas is outside and goes to look for Lucas, upset with Zach. At this point, Lucas encounters a frog near a pond. The boy tries to escape from the frog and encounters ants on the way. Lucas becomes a frog's breakfast when he can't get high. Zach feels guilty about Majenny's moaning. Meanwhile, Lucas notices some insects in the frog's stomach. He was still alive. Zach suddenly decides to prey on a frog to save Lucas, and the frog swallows him wholeheartedly. After they talk a little, they come back out of the cave. One of the ants gets free and becomes the prey of another frog. Mage is grateful to Zach and spend the night under a mushroom on the way. The next morning, the ant wakes everyone up, signaling that their god is coming. Lucas knew him and knew that he had come today on the basis of an advertisement. Lucas warns the ants of this and says that soon they will all die. At the end of his speech, he admits that he is the reason for this. Lucas is sentenced to death by the Ant Council, but he has a plan to get out of this problem. Zach trusts him and is forced to make a deal with the bees. The bees had to accept their offer, because their lives depended on it. So the bees and the ants agreed to act together. Their plan to attach headphones to the ear of a special employee did not work. Ants are being destroyed by a special worker. At that moment, two beetles penetrate the special agent's pants and hit him in the sensitive area. Lucas gets a brilliant idea and uses a bee nest to attack a special agent. The man's appearance changes, and he is attacked by bees as he tries to escape. Lucas saves the ant's life. He is allowed to go home by the mother ant. Lucas will say goodbye to the ants who have become your friends and will appear on the lawn. At this time, his parents return from a trip. At the end of the movie, we see Lucas giving up Steve the bully and Lucas helping the ants. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.